What is up, my gaming peeps? Gamer Dude back once again with another review episode. So today we are reviewing episode 3 of The Walking Dead, the final season. I've just finished it. I have been pacing myself with it. Like I said, I did the first bit, the first chapter of it, then I cut it off, waited a day or so, then came back into the next one, finished that, then waited again, then did the next one. But I gotta say, I really wish there were more than 4 episodes. That's the only reason why I'm pacing myself with it, because obviously with me finishing episode 3, I'm now on the final episode. But yeah, we jump right in after the events of episode 2, and I showed no sympathy toward Abel. Until he asked for a smoke, that was. I was like, fuck it, why not? I'd have asked for a smoke. I was like, fuck it, why not? Because I'd do the same. So AJ is standing with us. I made AJ wake him up, and I kind of tortured him a little. Well, I wouldn't say torture, I kind of punched him in the gut, but the game, when it came to the end of that sequence, says, you just tortured a man in front of AJ. It's like, well, the fuck? I gave him a cigarette, and I gave him mercy. How is that torturing? Anyway. But yeah, with that, I realised, like, shit, there's a kid here watching me. Like, shit, I said he could swear last episode, but damn, this is a bit of a step up. So I put the dude out of his misery, like I just said, which is a fantastic callback to Season 1 with Lee at the St. John's Dairy Farm, killing or leaving the cannibal brothers. Because as you know, you can kill them just outright, or you can leave them alive and leave them to the walkers, which is exactly what I did. I figured, well, I'm not going to give them mercy, they don't deserve it, I'm just going to leave them to the walkers. So we jump out of there to the raiders about after Bell... no, sorry. So we jump out of there to the raiders' boat after Abel told us where to find them. And I was like, son of a bitch, he was telling the truth. Because when we interrogated Abel, he told us where they were, and I was like, oh, there's got to be some catch to this, we're going to get trapped, there's going to be something. But he actually told the truth, and it's like, wow. Dude must have seen some kind of sympathy towards his kids. But yeah. Sorry, I've written all this down again, so I've just got to find where I was. So then we see Ten's sister like, oh damn. Violet, who I confessed my feelings for last episode, yeah, I turned Clem into a lesbian, by the way, is confronted with her ex and just ignores that I'm there, like, at all. Like, oh shit, total burn moment. It's like, oh, okay, so I just don't exist now? You bump into your ex and I don't exist? Thank you very much. Interestingly, we see her with an axe, and my first thought was, is that the axe from the motor inn that Lee had? As if you remember, it was left in the RV when Lily stole it. So I was like, shit, is that the same one? Because it does look pretty clean. The axe looks pretty clean. It looks pretty well maintained. But, you know, it's probably not the same one. But still, it's a nice little callback. It's a nice little throwback. It gets you thinking, is it the same one? So now we get some Clem and AJ bonding time. And I'm trying to teach this kid well. And he drops a joke about Clem being old. And I just hit the floor with laughter. You know, because Clem's probably, I think she's like 14, 15 in this, maybe 16. And Clem's like, fuck you, I'm not old. But I'm really loving these bonding sessions. It kind of reminds me of the moments that Clem and Lee had. It's like Lee lives in her, and AJ is or has become what Lee wanted for Clementine. Well, besides casually shooting a dude's brains out without remorse. But yeah, you get me. So we move ahead with James, and he brings us to this kind of old shack looking thing. First thing I see is a salt lick. We get into the environment and I see the salt lick, and AJ's staring at it. And he's like, what's this? So, I mean, what an amazing throwback. I mean, wow. I even reacted, like, reenacted, and recreated the same conversation she had with Lee about it. I had such a cheesy grin on my face. As, she says, AJ says to her, "What's this?" And there's a number of choices. I can't remember them all, but the one I went for was, "Whatever you do, don't lick it." And he's like, "Did you lick it?" And she goes, "I don't know, maybe." It's exactly what happened in season 1 with Lee. That was beautiful. I loved that scene. So, also turns out James is batshit cray-cray. Like, thinking the walkers are alive? I mean, sorry, dude, but to quote Shane, they ain't people. All these things do is kill. They eat people, they're dead. And I would have to agree, if a zombie apocalypse legit happened, I would have to agree with that assessment. They are dead. There is nothing left after death. They are just a walking corpse. I mean, it's not even explained how zombies are a thing. It's even in season 1 when they're at the CDC in the show, it really doesn't fully explain it. All it says, it invades the brain like meningitis, then revives the brain stem. That's it. It doesn't say why, it doesn't say how, and none of us know how. So yeah, I'm going to go with that assessment that they are dead. But like, is it a tie-in there with the show with Herschel as well? Because if you remember from season 2 when they first met Herschel, Herschel thought they were alive because his wife and his stepson were in the barn. And Herschel was under the impression that they were just sick, that they were alive, until Shane busted his nut on that theory and shot shot someone he knew in the chest several times with a gun. And Herschel's like, "But when Shane shot Lou in the chest, that's when I realized what an ass I'd been." So that he had that epiphany. He was like, "Fuck, they ain't alive." So how the Whisperers can see that they're alive, I have no idea. But damn, fuck me in the face, I chose to walk into that barn filled with those walkers. Season 2 callback, by the way. And geez, I was so totally shitting myself. I mean, like, Clem's breathing under that mask. She was like, like a fucking mini panic attack while she's in there. I mean, I can't say I blame her. But I was like, fuck, shit, is this it? Is this where she gets bit? You know, I'm holding my pad tighter and tighter, like with the suspense, and it's going through my mind. It's like, oh, no, she's going to die, but is this it? Is this the gruesome death? But yeah, so far, major 10 out of 10 for suspense and drama and story play so far. And this isn't even halfway through the episode, so I absolutely love it. So we go back to the boarding school and find the kids totally support the plan to blow up this boat and to get our friends back. I mean, these kids got to be nuts, right? I'd take my chances on the road, be like, fuck it, they are fighting a war that's not ours, but they be safe, they're in a safe environment, they've got food, they've got guns, they're fine, fuck it, I'm out of here. You know, I'd get the hell out of Dodge moment, right? So now we get more bonding time with AJ, and I ask him, should I get bit? And, you know, he kind of killed the buzz by bringing that up in the first place. To shoot me like Clementine did to Lee, or like I did to Lee in season 1. Because I'm pretty sure like 99% of the Walking Dead community shot Lee. The only reason that they wouldn't have is to obviously play the game differently and see how the ending was different. It's not, by the way. It's just, you leave him, you just walk away. So we wouldn't know if he turned or not. But yeah, I just can't get enough of the bonding between Clem and AJ. It is definitely like a mother-son relationship, because that is how Clem sees AJ. She sees AJ as her son, so she's become the protective mother. I mean, after all, she's had him since he was a baby. Well, she didn't have him, but yeah, she kind of adopted him as hers. She had to. She had no choice. The mum kind of turned and tried to eat him, so bummer. I wonder if Clem ever told him that story, but anyway. But yeah, I had to include this because it had me laughing in tears. I was literally on the floor crying with laughter. So when we were at the boarding school, they all arrange a little party, and you know we're all sort of playing a Guess Who kind of game. You know, like the old Guess Who game thing where you play the cards and guess who they are. But yeah, it was that sort of deal. And a kid comes out with, "Oh, I'll tell you why I'm here," and everyone's like, "No!" You know, just straight out like, "No, please, do not." And then he just comes out with, I just burst out laughing. He goes, chronic masturbation. I was just creasing up with laughter. I was like, dude, what the fuck? You get sent to a school for troubled youths for jacking off too much? Oh man. If that's what happens, like if that could happen, like wow, just shit. But of all things to be put in a troubled youth hostel for, I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm still creasing up laughing just reading that back from writing it down, and this is crazy. But yeah, moving on. You know, obviously we've gotten to James. He's agreed to help us, and we get to the Clem and Lee dream sequence on the train. I absolutely loved it. The updated graphics as well. Seeing Clem as a kid again, like just looking at Clem with updated graphics as a kid. Even Melissa Hutchinson even went out of her way to recreate that voice from season 1. And that is incredibly difficult for her, because I've seen a lot of press interviews with Melissa Hutchinson, and she talks about how she has to go deep into her throat to get that voice, and it gives her a really scratchy throat for months. So credit where it's due for that. But I wish it had been longer. I definitely wish it had been longer, with more choices and more dialogue, but obviously it was absolutely beautiful. Like, she's talking to him out of her memory. So in a way, he is always there for her. He is always in her life. Even if, like Lee said in the dream sequence, even if it's just pretend. So she's kind of recreating Lee's personality from her memories of Lee. So that's why I say he's never really gone. He's always there for her. I did half expect him to kind of, like at the end of the dream, kind of just turn into a walker and just grab at her and snarl at her, and she's like, and then she wakes up. But when she hugs him and becomes who we see her as now, I like to think that Lee would have been proud of her. That Clem's alive because of the things he taught her and the choices he made. I mean, fuck Lily. Lily doesn't know shit. She's like, oh, I knew Lee better than you. And obviously with the choice I went with there, I was like, don't say his fucking name. Like, Clem being a total badass. But safe to say this scene was extremely emotional. I mean, legit, I was nearly brought to tears. And the last game that brought me to tears was the end of Spider-Man PS4 with Aunt May's death. I mean, just wow. It's not very often that a game can near enough bring me to tears, so 10 out of 10 for effort on that. Because they are really going with emotion on this one, because obviously it's now Skybound that did episode 2, 3 and 4. So they are really going with emotion. They are really trying to recapture the sort of vision that Telltale Games had for this final season. And, oh, okay, a little off topic from the review, but James is gay? Like, shit, is everyone in this episode gay? So, you know, it's what? I made Clem gay, Violet's gay, James is gay. Is anyone else gay? But anyway, typical The Walking Dead vibes. Cover yourself in guts. Think this has been done in all 4 games. You know, but it's like Walker 101. It's knowledge for walkers. It's common knowledge for zombie apocalypses. Just cover yourself in guts and walk through. See a herd? No problem. Kill a walker down the road? Just go through it. It's fine. But then, oh shit, betrayal and capture. And seriously, how fucked up are these people? Cut out Lou's tongue? Just because he was talking too much? And weren't the other kids talking as well? This is crazy. And, you know, they corrupted Minnie so much that she killed her own sister? Like, what the fuck? But I love how when Clem escapes the cell, she takes a knife in the chest, and she just brushes it off like it was nothing. Like it's like a total fucking badass. Soldiers on like a boss. But I did love the trip down memory lane with Lily's Lily's story with her dad Larry. You know, and Clem was talking about back in the drugstore when he was planning to throw Doc out because, you know, he thought he was bit. But then, oh shit, again, AJ bites off a chick's ear. I mean, just wow. I did not expect that to happen. Like, when I selected that choice, I expected him to, like, sneak up, you know, and then just get tossed back, like, pushed back and knock in the face or some shit. So right now, this episode is giving me everything I want. It's giving me action, it's giving me drama, it's giving me romance, it's giving me suspense, and I absolutely love it. And I'm looking forward to playing the final episode, but I'm also not, because it is the final episode. And it would appear that it can't be live streamed because it gets blocked worldwide. And I only know this because I was talking to Blazing710420 about it. He said he did a live stream on it and it was blocked worldwide. So it's like, oh, right, so Skybound don't want us streaming this then. Shit. I don't know what this will mean for my Telltale game series when I bring that back, if I'll be allowed to do The Walking Dead. Maybe I'll just have to remove the music, but we don't know. But yeah, as I was saying, so when AJ bites off that chick's ear, it's like fucking adorable little badass. You know, he's an adorable little badass. He's doing exactly what I said. He is taking fear and he is telling it to fuck off. Because I want this kid to know that only defend yourself if you have to. Like, don't just stone cold kill someone like you did Marlon. You need to, like, there has to be a justified reason for it. I only told him he was justified for doing it so he would think that he's justified for killing someone else like Lily. You know, because Lily actually kind of deserves it for cutting a dude's tongue out and kidnapping children. Because kidnapping children just isn't a red flag moment in the zombie apocalypse, obviously. But climactic end on an amazing cliffhanger to this episode. So I will give my overall ratings for the episode. Emotion, 10 out of 10. Just straight out 10 out of 10. Really recommend the episode. It almost feels like the episode 4 isn't the last episode, because even when you come to the end of this episode, you're like, there's no way episode 4 is the last one, because there's so much that's got to be crammed into the final episode. I mean, with my choices that I went through, I kept Lily alive, for example. You've got to think that so much more is going to happen, and there's got to be another episode, but unfortunately there isn't. I'm not too sure why they decided to cram all this into one last episode instead of spanning it out over 2. Because they could have made more money off the game, you know? It's fucking... but I'm sure that was Telltale's idea in the first place. But for drama, once again, 10 out of 10. So much drama goes on in this episode, especially when Violet is confronted by her ex Minnie. It's like, oh, well, love triangle, thanks, I just don't exist, your ex is here now, okay, fuck you. Consequences, definite 10 out of 10. The episode has so many consequences. Each choice you made definitely came back and bit you in the ass at some point in the episode. Even if you made a choice for the better, it came back and bit you in the ass. So 10 out of 10 for that. Flashback sequences, that more or less that dream sequence and Lily's little story, 10 out of 10. I love callbacks to previous seasons, previous episodes, or just the past, really. And that whole thing on the train with Lee and Clem. Lee's like, why the train? You always pick the train. And Clem's like, I don't know, I guess this is because it's where it all started. And it is. That is where Clem realised that you're going to start losing people you care about. Because from there she lost Duck, they lost Katya, then if you played it wrong, you lost Ben. But Ben was kind of a douche anyway, so, you know, fuck it, Ben's going to die. Then Lee just outright kills that dude in the hotel room, or she does it herself. That's pretty fucked up. Then, obviously, you lose Lee. So from that moment, I can kind of see what she was talking about by saying that this is where it all started, and how it sort of comes into the whole, you're going to lose people you care about. But I loved the sequence where she transitions from a kid into her older self. And it's actually like Lee's there with her, because he's like, my God, look at you. Like, he's so proud of her, like he's seeing her grow up and he's proud of what she's become. But I can't help but think Lee's appearing to her now, not as a figment of her imagination, but as kind of like some kind of ghost. Like, I don't know, they say there is an afterlife, let's say there is, for example, and Lee knows that she's going to die. Lee knows that these choices, these decisions that she's making, even though she's protecting people and protecting AJ, she's going to die, and he's going to be reunited with her soon. But yeah, last but not least, definite 10 out of 10 for nostalgia as well, just going back to what I said. So yeah, that's it for this review video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, let me know if you want to see reviews on any more episodes, on any more games as well, because I'm seriously still thinking about that Just Cause 4 review. I've got a lot of beefs with Just Cause 4, so it'll be quite a long review. I'll be playing episode 4 tomorrow after I finish work, and as you know, I finish work quite late, so there won't be a gaming upload tomorrow, or any upload at all tomorrow. But I will do double the content on the Wednesday. I can assure you of that. Stay tuned later on today as well, because I will be doing just a game, really. Will just be another video in the 90-day streaming ban series, I suppose. So shout out to all subscribers, old and new. Appreciate the love and support. We've gained a couple more subscribers. I will definitely give a shout out to them in my next video that I do today. We're now at 842, so thank you so much. We're getting so much closer to that 900 mark, and then we'll move on to the 1,000 mark. I've had a lot of my subscribers this year saying, I hope your channel grows, and I was skeptical about it. I didn't think it was going to, but then bam, in 2 weeks I earned like 42 subscribers, so I want to thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, this has been Reviews with Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I'll catch you all real soon, guys.